Hello, I'm going to demo the tool that we've made for this. Okay, so the first step is we look at this is the raw data that gets published, and you can see this is the headers for the data, and these individual rows are when the data was collected and all the data for these attributes here. Okay, so we run our tool. Okay. And it creates this output file, and that's let me open that in a different editor so you can see it. Okay, so what this is it took the previous file that we just saw and converted it into an SVM format that live SVM can use. And here, since we don't know when a flood took place, it just puts 0 here, meaning it's not flood data. In a real example, we would have to go through this and figure out when a flood took place and mark it as flood data for that training set. This data set is very large, as you can see. I think it says it's over 3,000 rows in this. So what I have done is I've created a smaller one so that we can actually see what's going on here. Okay. All right, so this is the data set that I'm going to run it through. See, these right here with the 1 in front of it are marked as flood data. And let's see, these up here are what would be considered average for those data sets, and in order to get a baseline of what is normal when the region is not flooding. Okay. Okay, so now we want to create our SVM model. And again, we're going to be using live SVM. Alright, so we want to do SVM. And we will use it on the modified file. Okay. What this does is it creates this .model file right here, and it uses that to predict new incoming data. And what we'll see here is, so we have this file here, and this is a new data file, something that would come in after all the others have already, the model's created and this comes in. So we want to predict where this is going to go. Is this flood data or is it not? Flood, or I should say flood indicator. So we're going to predict the 0, which we're saying that we believe that this is not going to be flood data. And that's a reasonable guess because this region is going to be not flooded more than it's flooded. Okay, so we can close that. And we're going to run this bat file. And the parameters are the new data file and the model file that we generated in the previous steps. So I'll start. Okay. So, okay, this is our visualization for it. Okay, I'll explain this. This down here, this x-axis, is each data element that has been predicted. And the element that's on the far right is always the one that you just ran because it adds it to the list of predictions. And so your newest one is always at the end. So as you can see here, this was predicted to have a flood indicator of 0, so meaning that our guess was correct that it was not a flood indicator. And how this chart would be used is an operator would run this as several times a day as data comes in, and would keep track of the amount of flood indicators that you're going to get. And the more you get in a row over a longer period, that's going to indicate that a flood could be imminent. Right. I think that's it for the tool.